And we're
Saturday.
live. And we're live. And I have a sinus infection and sound like an old lady. What's up? I've been smoking for my whole life here. Hey, how's it going? So anyway, how's everybody doing here tonight, everybody?
I'm fantastic, sir.
Awesome.
It's good to be back. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's good to be back. I didn't take NyQuil before the show. So you guys are okay with that? We were joking around. I was like, yeah, after the show, I'm going to pop some NyQuil. And, you know, and then Punk's like, you sure you didn't take it before the show? I was like, well, if I pass out, you'll know what happened, you know. So we're good. We're live. It's a good salty Thursday. I love Thursdays. It's a day we can all hang out as a community. So I appreciate everybody that's here talking games. There's a lot of people early. I appreciated that as well. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. You know, make that thumb nice and blue, and share this out on your favorite social media site. It helps the channel out tremendously. So without further ado, we have two awesome guests. First one is Invader Gaming. How's it going, my dude?
Woo! It is going well, Salty. It is going well. Thanks for having me on, and it's always a pleasure being on the Saltiest Gaming Podcast. And you know, it's such a great crew here, filled with all kinds of gaming enthusiasm. And yeah, I just can't wait to talk games, take names, and get into the heavy amounts of salt.
Hell yeah! Check your blood pressure. It's about to get real. Invader, I just want to get a quick background for your gaming background. Just where you started and where you are today, and then just kind of tell a little bit about your channel so people know what's going on there.
All right. Well, my channel's it's a little all over the place, really. I've been doing a lot of live streams like past year or so. Been really comfortable doing that, and yeah, I like talking about different news going on, get different discussions going on in the gaming news scene, and I've also got the Game Dosage podcast with Glitcher, Noof, Jago, and all that on Monday nights at 9 p.m. and a great crew, always fun there. But yeah, as far as my gaming background goes, I started, you know what, I was definitely huge on Nintendo back in the day, whether it be the NES, the SNES, I loved to death, whether with Star Fox and the old school Mario games, and then going to the N64. Oh man, I love the N64. I mean, I always talk about Banjo. People always hear me talk about Banjo and Conquer and all that, and it just, I have such a love for the N64. Also around that area too, Sega Genesis, Saturn. Oh man, like so many good platformers back in the day. I didn't realize how big on platformers I was until I actually like went through a list recently. I was like, dang, I play a lot of platformers.
Real quick, I'm gonna cut you off because Punk's with the sly super chat and he's on the panel. What is this shit? This is like Inception, right? You're on the panel and you donate. Like, what is this? $50 super chat. Let's keep Salty on the up and up. Here's to you, kid, with three. That's 3 exclamation points.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, guys. I love it. Not to cut off how you did, bro.
Oh my God.
Very charitable.
Infamous Fabs with the $50. I'll match that. You guys are amazing, guys. Honestly, like I was feeling sick as a dog this morning, and I was like, "Fuck that! We're doing the show because I love hanging out with you guys." And my computer, I tried to highlight the super chat, and now there's a gray cloud over the chat. So excuse me there. Hopefully, I'll be able to see them in the going forward here. So anyway, yeah, I cut you off, sir, Invader, sir. Where were you at last time?
Well, Salty, sir, I was.
What's going on?
Hold up.
We're not even going to start the show.
You guys are insane. Stop, dude. Seriously, honestly. $50 from Butcher Van. This is insanity, guys. Honestly. Like I said, no shitting. I appreciate you guys immensely. If you guys didn't know, we did gaming news at noon with myself and Boom, and I really opened up myself to the community, and I let you guys know what was going on. And I'm not ashamed of that or embarrassed of that. I think that feeling emotions and sharing them with people is a strength. It's not a weakness. So by any means, I appreciate all you guys and being able to make friends with you. And I heard back from a lot of people that, that they were touched by what I was saying. And the only thing that I have to say to that is I'm just keeping it real, and you should too. And let's keep this positive force going in gaming. And that's it, right? Let's build this community up together and let's have fun. This needs to be a place where you guys could come and hang out and feel a part of things and feel, not like separated or different. And that's the plan there. So I appreciate you guys immensely. Honestly, you guys are brothers, family. We're all family here at T.S.G.P. and that's the long spiel. All right. So anyway, back to you, Invader, without further ado.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Clap, clap, clap.
Try to refresh my screen here.
But yeah, you know what? Just to make a very long story short, like I had taken a break from video games for a while in my early mid-teens, and then I stumbled upon a little game called Halo. And actually, you know what? It was Halo 2 that caught my eye, because I was like, Halo, what is this? And then I really wasn't into Xbox until Halo 2 came around. I was like blown away by everything. So I got my Xbox originally, and I came late into the game for Halo 2, and I loved it to death. And that's when I really reinvigorated my interests and my love for gaming. Then I got Mech Assault, Fable, Crimson Skies. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of beloved classics. And then I just kind of snowballed to what was the Xbox 360. Oh, like the amount of games and hours I put into that system. Oh man, just absolutely loved and adored. And then of course to this day with the Xbox One, absolutely love the system. And then I also have a Nintendo Switch, which I've been slowly becoming to love with the Zeldas and the Mario Karts and so on. And yeah, you know what? I have a general love for gaming, and it goes across the park, but obviously I focus on specifically Xbox content. And I love all things gaming, and I'm a passionate gamer and a passionate human being, and I just love getting to know everybody and to share that love of gaming.
Awesome. Hey, just to let you know, chat, my screen is lagging like a motherfucker. So if I miss anybody in the chat, if I miss you saying hi or anything else, just let me know. That's what's going on here. I try to refresh my screen. I'm like, please don't blow up, computer. We're all good here. We're still live. Because every now and again there's like silence. I'm like, well, are we still live? We're still live. Okay, we're good. So let's talk about the first topic. Let's talk about Black Friday. I've told everybody I'm kind of a cheap guy, just because I grew up poor, and then I'm just cheap by trade, so I like to look for the great deal. And there's some good deals going out there for Black Friday, I'm not going to lie. So we'll just talk about that real quick. Target was one of the first ads that I looked at, and then some of the highlights there. You can get Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $35. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is down to $30. You can get a PlayStation 4 with Spider-Man for $200, and I think God of War you could pick up for $25 as well. There's not a lot of sales when it comes to Switch games and stuff like that, but you can get Xbox One S's for $200 as well. There's a lot of deals to be had out there. How do you guys feel about Black Friday specifically? Do you guys use that as a time to go and pick up some games, chat? Do you guys like to go out there in the crowds and beat the lines and get the best deals for your games? Or do you guys pick them up the next morning, after that rush is over? I personally kind of go there. It's either or. I'll go there and stand in line with my wife. She really likes to do it, and I like to be there with her just to make sure she's safe. And then, the following morning when there's no crowds, I'll go in there and try to sneak in and, see if I can pick up any of the scraps there. So chat panel, what do you guys do with Black Friday? You guys about it or not? Let's start off with Invader. How do you feel about these Black Friday ads?
Well, first of all, I'm in Canada, so it's a little different here.
Oh, shit.
But
okay.
No. Seriously, though, a few years ago, it only started really picking up that stores here were doing Black Friday things since they saw that Canadian shoppers, like I live about an hour, if not less, away from the border. And a lot of people were going over there to shop over to the American side, obviously, for all these big deals. And so to keep people here happy and to attract people to the stores here were like, oh, we're going to start to do some Black Friday deals. And of course, the gaming stores and the big electronic stores were in on it as well. And slowly, it's been picking up steam. I haven't really noticed the sales here as of yet. But they're starting to be decent, you know, $20 here off a game, and of course system deals, bundle deals, so on and so forth. But nothing has really caught my eye personally, because usually I wait a little later for the Boxing Day deals, which is right after Christmas here in Canada. So, I mean, if you're talking about like PlayStation with bundled with Spider-Man for $200, that's a pretty good deal. That's a you know, you got one of the best games of the year probably with is that like a regular PS4 or
it's a PS4 Slim with Spider-Man, so it doesn't look any different, but pretty much what if you know the cards are lined up right, you could get a PlayStation 4 Slim new with Spider-Man, right, for $200. And then you can get God of War for $25.
Yeah.
So you're talking about $225 for God of War, Spider-Man, and a PlayStation 4 Slim. That's a hell of a deal, right?
Yeah, no, that's good.
So I know a lot of Xbox people are kind of been waiting to try to pull the trigger on a PlayStation 4. I myself am in that boat, and a lot of people that watch this show have Xboxes. I mean, this is a steal. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to find this deal across the board at a lot of stores, and I think there'll be plenty of supply. Maybe not, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you necessarily have to wait in line that night. Maybe you can pick it up the next day, but you know, shout out to all the cheap people out there like myself, or that you're on a budget. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you're trying to own multiple systems, you got to look for those sales and stuff like that, because you know there's only so much money to go around, especially when you have family and all that other stuff. So you got to get those deals, and then you know, so let me know if you guys are gonna pick up that PlayStation 4 deal. Anybody else interested in Black Friday channel?
It's like Black Friday equals a day to stay inside for a good reason.
Okay.
I get the digital sales. Last year I think I got 8,000 Smite gems for 33% off. That's what I got, probably 2 of the last 3 years or something like that. But I'm not getting a PlayStation 4. I'll buy Fallout 76 twice before I get that crap.
We won't touch that subject again.
You gotta love that salt right there, you know.
Yeah.
Punk, you gonna do any of it Black Friday?
No? Actually, I mean, I'm more of a clothes guy personally. Like, I gotta hit the Nikes and the Under Armours, man, and Expressmen for my fancy as bitch clothes. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, you can get 6 pair of panties for like $15, bro. Count me in. All right.
Oh yeah.
Now, most of the gaming stuff, usually siblings will pick up a deal. Like, I'll probably just ask for Assassin's Creed because I want to get that game, but I told you I didn't want to spend $60, you know, because granted the reviews are good, but prior to that, I was with you, Salty, you know, saying it was like the glorified DLC for Origins. But I do want to play that game. But I mean, with anything else, and you know me, I'm stuck on Blackout right now anyway, so I don't even have time to do any of that shit.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, but as far as Black Friday goes, man, if any of you guys, and I'm sure a lot of us have at some point probably worked on the retail side of it, is the fucking worst thing ever. I did it at Best Buy for 2 years and I hated it. It sucks.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Crazy Greek Dude. Shout out to him. He's in the Saltiest Gaming Discord. If you guys are interested in joining that, it's an amazing community. It's kind of like this chat, but you get to talk whenever you want. You know, so it's amazing. $20 super chat. I appreciate that. So honestly, with my shitty computer, I was just waiting for Black Friday to try to find a deal for computer. And with all this outpouring and outreach from you guys, we're definitely going to be getting a computer that can actually run OBS and have some quality animations and all kinds of cool shit. So look forward to that. So this new year is going to be crazy on the Saltiest Gaming Podcast. We're going to be putting all the bells and whistles there. I'm looking forward to like putting animations in, maybe GIFs, maybe some sound effects. This shit's gonna go crazy.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be fun,
So
dude.
it's gonna be awesome. Like, this is just the ground floor of what we're gonna be doing here. So look forward to that. So if you guys gonna go out to Black Friday, make sure you're safe. Make sure you don't get stampeded, because like at Walmart, they set up these crates in the middle of the aisles.
Oh, geez.
And then the way that it goes down, if you're not familiar, is you stick your hand on the thing that you want, right? Like they don't have lines because there's crates of shit in the aisles, right? And they have plastic wrap around them. I'm not telling a joke here. So then
Who came up with this idea?
Put your hand around these crates, right? Like cattle. You stick your arm on the crate, and that's how you claim your spot, right? And then they count down. You could see it gets closer and closer to the time where they're going to start this shit. And then once that time hits, it's like madness. Things start ripping open. People are screaming. People are like grabbing shit. Like you're like, it feels like it's like looting at the end of the world. Like it's The Walking Dead. It's shit. This shit's crazy. Yeah, loot crates. That's the real life loot crates right there, guys. Black Friday is insane, and like Butcher Van said, it's actually Black Thursday now because you have to go out Thanksgiving. I don't like doing it because the people working there. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll move on to the next subject, shall we? Fortnite's getting NFL uniforms, and PUBG gets this Joker and Harley Quinn disaster skins from Suicide Squad. You guys interested in picking up these NFL uniforms if you play Fortnite? I know none of you guys do. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I like the NFL. I think that
I don't.
The characters kind of look like NFL Blitz from back in the day. You guys remember that game?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes me reminisce NFL Blitz, and I want a new NFL Blitz more than anything. So I know you guys don't give a shit about this. But what about NFL Blitz? You guys have fond memories of NFL Blitz?
That was on the original Xbox, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. That was like back on.
That was way back
a long time ago.
I used to play NFL Blitz at this local Peter Piper was what it was called, and I would go because my high school was like probably 2 football fields away from this Peter Piper joint, and we go there and we'd sneak out of school and we go play Mortal Kombat and Blitz and Cruising USA and all kinds of shit. Yeah,
Cruising USA brings back memories.
Yes, it does. Oh my God.
Cruising USA was that like first real racing arcade game that I fell in love with, man. Because they had the steering wheel there and everything else. I would play that shit for hours. Like honestly, that game was amazing. And I'm not even a big racing fan, but Cruising USA was where it was at, So let's move on because I know you guys aren't really.
I want to talk about these dudes.
Okay.
The 2 characters. Did you guys see the price on the 2 PUBG characters?
Yes. Oh my God, $45.
Good God! Like Bluehole has gone full retard. Never go full retard. Like
if you all right, let me hold on. If you get triggered by what Titan says, please DM him on Twitter. He'll trigger you with his stuff. Keep going.
Nice talk.
And he got kicked in. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm bad. I don't know what happened there. I lost a minute for a second there. Can you hear me?
You got abducted by aliens. What's going on?
Just for a minute. They were short and quick with it, so it's all good now.
Continue your rant. Sir.
That's how we do.
Like 1.5 times the cost of your game. Like most season passes and expansions are not $45, and you want that for 2 skins? It's like, oh my God! You know what? Everyone be like me for a second, and let's take our sights away from the PlayStation Mini and all the other cash grabs for the time being, because this like trumps it all. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Shout out to Butcher Van again. We had a discussion on Twitter, and he kind of opened my eyes a little bit to it, but I'm still on the train that it's a cash grab. Fortnite skins, like the epic skins or whatever, run like $20. So if you put 2 of those skins together, it's about $40. But what I was trying to say is if you look at these Fortnite skins, they have animation, like flames are coming off this shit. They have like different things. It looks like really well done. And then you look at these PUBG skins.
PUBG can barely tell who it is.
It's like Joker looks like he just got off a bender, right? Doing cocaine on Las Vegas Boulevard. Got a face. His face doesn't even look like Jared Leto. Like, I mean, Harley Quinn looks okay, but like $45, what the hell, man?
Yeah, to me, this is something that needs needs to get bad press and needs to make them look terrible. This could be like the nail in the coffin for PUBG. Let's like officially bury that crap with their own stupidity. That's the way I feel about it.
Hey, Titan, remember that new Chinook map was going to be like free for a while, then they're going to charge like $30 for it. I was having a conversation on Twitter, and I was saying that PUBG was acting desperate. Like, maybe desperate isn't the word, but maybe, I don't know. Like, what's the word for Blue Hole? Like,
incompetent.
Well, why are they doing this? They sold all these millions of copies. Like, why are they being greedy right now? Hell, sell these things like $5 a pop or something, and like maybe make some sales off of it. Like, who the fuck is gonna buy these at $45?
People will, dude. That's the sad thing.
It comes down to them being out of touch with reality or something. Hey, Biggie 2316, it's good to see you, man. With a $50 super chat. Salty, you are the king. Question for everyone: what could Microsoft do at XO to just blow your fucking mind? What would blow my mind? You guys think about this real quick. Chat, you think about this question, and we can all answer it together. And
three announcements of acquisitions of game companies. 3 of them. I want 3.
It would blow my mind.
That would blow my mind. 3 of them.
It would blow my mind if the show didn't suck inside.
Oh god,
that would blow my mind.
So true. It'd blow my mind if I wasn't disappointed by it.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's actually not a joke. That's the sad thing.
No, okay. So I'll say it would blow my mind if the rumors of a new Banjo actually came to fruition, because I'm kind of doubting that, and it's kind of twofold here. Actually, threefold. So if Crackdown blows my mind, that would blow my mind. That's like Inception there, you know? So there's that. And then Turtle Rock Studios, if they actually acquired them, that would blow my mind. I don't know. I don't know what to say here. I think that surprises will be good in any sort, if that makes sense, because I'm kind of thinking that this XO event is going to be kind of ho-hum, and I hope it's not, you know, because they're bringing Phil Spencer there and everybody else. So what about the rest of you guys? What would blow your mind?
Honestly, like I don't know what exactly would blow my mind, but like they gotta announce stuff that we've known about for a while. Like I want to see like Ori showing off with a release date, Ashen with a release date.
Yeah.
Finally, we know that's coming soon. Show off a new trailer for the Cuphead DLC, Battletoads, even Ashen. Oh no, not Ashen. Below, a game that we've known about for a while. Like I want the games that we've known about for a while to finally get out and have release dates. And I just have a feeling that that's what this is gonna be, and that we might have a few other like maybe 1 or 2 little surprises. We might have a studio announcement. I mean, honestly, if the Obsidian thing is a thing, which I do think it is, that would be huge for me. But otherwise, I would just expect like just a larger inside Xbox with like some backwards compatible stuff, even for the original Xbox games, and just more run of the mill stuff. Like I wouldn't expect like a Fable announcement or anything until E3, because that seems more like an E3 type of announcement when all the cameras are on you there.
Yeah, like honestly, I think that a mind-blowing experience would be like seeing anything Fable, because I doubt that would ever happen. But if that did happen, that would be, you know, mind-blowing for me, I guess. So that would be the short and sweet of it. I kind of forgot about Fable per se. But if they had that kind of in their back pocket, and then kind of at the end of the show, they show some kind of CG thing, that would be fucking phenomenal, right? But I would say just kind of temper your expectations per se, because I don't really want to see Twitter after XO and then see all this negativity. I want to see positivity from the results we're getting, because I said this on Xbox Nation, I think that a lot of times on social media, we build these things up to a level that they can never reach. And then when they don't hit those expectations, then we shit on things and we're negative. And that's not beneficial to anybody, right? It's not a good look for you or anything else. Because, in general, social media is just this negative, toxic entity. So I think that we need to take away the positives from this event, the fact that they're actually even doing it. Because if you look back 3 years ago, it was a barren wasteland. You guys remember that time period? We didn't have games. Things were getting canceled. We didn't know what the direction was for the company and Xbox. We're kind of questioning whether or not it was an emphasis going forward for Microsoft. It was a bad time 3 years ago, and an event like this would never have happened. So the fact that we're having XO is a sign of the direction the company is going in, and I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So we got to kind of look at those positives going forward, because it's easy to look at the negatives and it's kind of hard to, see the positives sometime.
Yeah.
But that's it. We'll talk more about XO moving forward. I know that I think Drago's having some internet issues, so he'll join back in when he can. Let's talk about this fiasco at BlizzCon with Diablo. This is interesting to me because they, BlizzCon, Blizzard, they have some passionate fans, and gamers in general are passionate. And I appreciate the passion when I hear it for anything in life. If you're passionate about something, I think it's a good quality, but there's kind of a fine line that you have to walk when you're passionate, so you don't, step on other people or be like a dick about it and some other stuff. So if you guys didn't know, at BlizzCon, they announced Diablo Eternal. And people were waiting for a Diablo 4 announcement. They were all but sure that this was going to happen. Blizzard comes out. They're like, hey, Diablo Eternal, it's going to be a mobile game. And then everybody just lost their shit, right? Like, they were booing. They were just out of their minds because there's no Diablo 4 announcement. And then they were just shitting on Blizzard, right? And then the stocks are tanking for Activision and Blizzard. It's just a shitty situation. But I want to talk to you guys about the fact that a lot of people are calling gamers entitled for the reaction that they had with this Blizzard announcement. Do you guys think that gamers are entitled, or are we trying to be consumers that expect certain things from the product that we purchase? Like, does that make sense to you guys? Like, do you think gamers are entitled for voicing their opinions and their displeasure against Diablo Eternal? And then the second question is, why are console and PC gamers so anti-mobile gaming? Like, why is it? It's like a bad word or like a disease almost, Let's start off with our guest, Hyena Den. What do you think of this situation? Do you think gamers are acting entitled here, or what's your thoughts?
So here's the thing. I absolutely, in my mind, believe that there is a subsection of gamers. It doesn't matter, whether it's with racing fans or, people that play shooters, whatever. There are fans out there that are entitled to what they like. Case in point is a lot of the people that play the Horizon games. And these people, I'm trying to find the right words to say so I don't piss off a lot of people.
That's fine.
But there is an entitlement within the Forza franchise itself that I see on a daily basis, and there are entitled people out there. With Diablo, I can understand why people are upset with what they saw. The same thing with Valve announcing Artifact, with people with the Coalition announcing Gears Pop, and the same thing with Bethesda with Fallout Shelter. Valve's mistake too, but Blizzard's mistake, I think, with announcing Diablo Immortal was that they didn't prep ahead of time by saying, everything is going to be okay because we have, the game that you actually want with Diablo 4. So I can understand people being frustrated about that. Like, if they came out with, some mobile Forza game, I can already tell people would be really pissed off about it if there was not a mainline game that came afterwards, and it was already, it would come out, a few months to a year after that, so people would know what to look for. I don't know where the animosity comes from with PC versus mobile, Xbox for console gamers versus mobile, because I don't care where people play. I do think that there is some level of entitlement, within each of these subsections of gamers, and it's unfortunate. Like I try my best to ignore people and just let people play with what they want.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm loving the conversation that I'm seeing in the chat. I love that you guys are keeping it civil, and we can have opinions on both sides and still be homies. I saw a question that asked me if I was upset by the announcement at E3 of the Gears game that was only going to PC, and I have to respond to that and say no, I didn't care. I think that there's sometimes that there's going to be games that I'm not going to be able to play. I mean, Microsoft's a company. Xbox is a company. If they feel like they need to develop a game for PC, who am I to say that, like, I don't know. I didn't really feel salty or anything about it, because we're getting good games that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the next Gears that's going to be on console. And hell, I think there's going to be some announcement at XO where there's going to be more games coming over that we didn't have an opportunity to play before, like PC games, because of this mouse and keyboard stuff. So we never really know what's coming down the pipeline. I mean, that Gears game could be available on console down the road. So
is.
I mean, it's not worth getting frustrated about it when I can't control it. What am I going to do? Write a nasty letter to the higher ups at Xbox? What is that going to do for me? Nothing.
It takes too much energy.
Yeah, it's just a waste of energy, right? I focus on the things that I can control, and the things that I can't control, I kind of just let them blow in the wind, right? So Punk, what do you think of this situation? This backlash, especially the guy that got up and said, "Hey, is this an April Fool's joke?" He's kind of the poster child for quote unquote entitlement. People are saying, this isn't the devs' fault. They're not even working on Diablo 4, and this is just the publisher's initiative. Blah blah blah. What do you think, man?
Dude, look, well, first of all, every game has its huge fan base, like your hardcore fan base. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that was the thing with Diablo 3, and I didn't play it until it came to the Xbox One myself. And obviously it was on PC first, and just being able to control your player was so much better on the console, from what I've heard, as far as like clicking and telling your guy where to go, right? But to me, what makes this worse, because I'm excited for Diablo 4 myself, and obviously I'd like to think it's going to come straight to console, but that's a whole nother story. And I hope it does, but the worst part is, okay, so when did Diablo 3 come out? 2000 what?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, long ago, right? Okay, and then it came to the consoles, and we're like, all right, sweet. And they are just milking the shit out of Diablo 3. Like, it's still $30. Granted, it's like you can get the what is it? Not technically like the definitive version, whatever they call it, with all the map packs, but not. Yeah. And now we all know, like, oh, now Nintendo Switch. I'm like, dude, like, how much can you milk this effing game? Like, it's killing me. I love the game. I think it's fantastic, but like, dude, it's almost to the point where it's annoying that I'm seeing this. I'm like, not no Nintendo Switch, and they want the third party developers and come to their system and help them out. But holy shit, this game is going to be a turd on that system. Let's be real, okay? It is, and that's where I can't stand it, dude. I'm tired of seeing Diablo 3. And I'm a fan of it. I just hate it.
It's companies like Activision and Blizzard, man. They're just trying to milk it for all it's worth. And I mean, the mobile market is huge. There's so many gamers that play. They just you have a cell phone in your hand. I mean, everybody is a potential gamer if you think about it. If you could target your audience and make them download the free app, I mean, if you make it a free-to-play game, you can pretty much entice anybody to play your game. And that's enticing for these companies, because how many millions and millions of people have a phone in their hand, So that's why these companies are starting to branch out, the Bethesdas and the Activisions and the Microsofts and it's just the way it's going with gaming. And I'm sorry to say this, but like, there's a lot of people that love to be stuck in their ways. Change happens, folks. I mean, you gotta go with the flow, man. You can't be like an old fart in a rocking chair on your front porch and be like, God damn it, I remember how good it was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When no mobile games were there. It's just, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Right. And these companies, though, they're making killings on mobile games. I mean, it's not it's not our like Moosh says, it's not our bag, you know, and it's not. But like I guess 2018 and all these kids now, and I can't say all kids, but I would like to think a higher percentage are just on there like microtransaction the shit out of everything on a cell phone, and these companies are making billions off of this shit. So they're not necessarily in the wrong for taking this path. It makes sense, but for someone like us, like we don't want it. You know, we've been sitting on consoles or PCs. It's just the way it is. But like I said, 2018, you're going to see a lot more of it, man. It's a cash cow, dude. It's not going to go dry anytime soon.
It's true. Like,
I don't know if
go ahead, Titan.
I don't know if this was the same story or if it was a different story where there was a dev that used to work with Blizzard, and he said that Blizzard lost their touch with the fan base and they kind of deserve this backlash. Have you guys read that one?
I did. I heard that, and I heard the response from Blizzard. But go ahead. What do you say?
No, I was just wondering what you guys thought of that. And also, Hyena, you said you were like trying to dodge from people hating. No matter what, say what you're gonna say, man, because you're gonna piss someone off no matter what you say.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say that honestly, like. You can't worry about making people mad. They're going to be mad regardless. Like even if you were trying to please everybody in the world, someone will be pissed. They'd be pissed off that you're trying to please them. You know,
someone's pissed off that what you just said somewhere out there.
Someone's pissed off that I talked about them being pissed off about.
He's trying to not piss me off. God damn it.
Yeah, it's true. So I think this is interesting talk. I've said this before. Gaming is gaming for me. Like if you bring out a cell phone game that I think is fun and I can play on the go, the thing that you need to fix for me is the damn controls. Like if you could fix that for me and I could play that, I'd be all for it. I don't care if it's a mobile game. It's games, man. Like, why does it have to be stuck into categories? Oh, this is console games. This is PC. This is this and that and that. And I have to be in this, ecosystem or fuck the other ecosystem. I hate mobile gaming or I hate PC or I hate this. And it's just like, why can't it just be, hey, I'm going to go play this game because it's fucking fun? I mean, it is what it is, right? Yeah. So. I don't know, man.
A lot of the backlash, but they're just trying to expand their market to mobile. Everyone's trying to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
like with
the audience, man.
Yeah,
it's the audience.
That's what Microsoft's doing with all of their stuff going to PC and then stuff with mobile with Project xCloud. It's like Microsoft's most of these companies are fairly huge, and their demographic reaches different subsets of gamers out there. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and people are like, well, they could take another event and then announce this. It's like, well, why do they have to like do a separate event for mobile games? Like this is an event for BlizzCon, man.
Yeah. So
it's just, I think people are kind of out of touch with reality with the way the market is right now, because we're going towards this cloud gaming situation and Project xCloud and all this other stuff. So the mobile space is kind of where gaming's going. So I think people just got to kind of get used to the situation and not bitch about it so much. You know what I'm saying? But if you need to bitch, go ahead. I'm not going to talk shit about it. I mean, it is what it is. Let's move on to the next topic. I just want to talk about, a little bit about PUBG, because I think they're kind of in desperation mode. There's quote unquote a big PUBG announcement at XO. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be. Probably Game Pass. Do you guys think that they'll slap it in Game Pass?
Yep.
Well, it's already for free, right? For a limited time.
It's free for a couple days. It's still going to cost money. So I think they're just trying to get people. I think the player base on Xbox is kind of dropping. I know it is. And I had this discussion online again. I was saying, the market share and the mind share for PUBG is dropping. And then the guy showed me Steam playing, like the amount of people playing PUBG on Steam. And I'm like, well, that's PC, but you got to take into account consoles and all this other stuff. It's the whole mind share. So I showed him Twitch numbers, and PUBG was barely cracking the top 15. So it's going to be free to play for a limited time from November 8th through the 11th. Like I said, big PUBG announcement at XO. They're trying to put in an esports league by 2019. It's going to PlayStation 4 in December, and then they're going to be putting in a performance quality modes on the Xbox One X. So it's like PUBG, Blue Hole's finally like, oh shit, we're losing our mind share. Let's actually do work on this game. You know what I'm saying? Let's get off our asses and stop sipping Mai Tais on a cruise ship. You know what I'm saying? Let's actually put work into this game. What a concept, right? So all this shit's coming in at the same time. Yeah, I think it's a little too late. But what do you guys think of all these things? Anything stand out to you? The PlayStation 4 getting PUBG or esports or any of this shit?
I just think it's like so funny that like you have this outlook on Blue Hole and I have a completely different outlook. I look at it like a sweatshop and like someone's like got whips and like, get this code ready. Like you think there's 7 Mai Tais. That's funny. Both of which either one could be true. Who knows?
Well, they have a very small development as my voice cracks. I'm sick as fuck, guys, but we're good to go here. They have a very small development team in Korea, and
it just screams sweatshop development.
They could have just expanded their numbers, man. But
it's true. They should have. I don't know. That's the biggest fail on their part is not expanding their team. And they said, it's hard to find developers. Well, man, you gotta fill it with somebody. You gotta be ready for this.
Well, it's not like they don't have the cash from initial PUBG sales to afford good developers, right? To attract good developers. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that they've only just recently like really optimized the game for Xbox One, nonetheless. So it's kind of just the amount of content coming out from it. Like it's been so slow in comparison to what Fortnite's been able to produce, and then you look at Call of Duty, what they're doing with the Blackout, Battlefield 5, while Firestorm got delayed, it's gonna eventually come out. So they're getting hit by a few things at once at the moment, and it's been their failure to catch up and adapt.
Not have they only been outclassed by Fortnite in quantity, but also quality. Like they got 2 skins for $45. The rest, you open up these dang crates and it's like the same blue shirt 50 times out of 60. It's like, oh my god.
They still didn't fix that crap.
No,
I heard that it's a semi fixed it like way back in the day. I don't think it was nothing major.
I don't know. That's enough of PUBG and Blue Hole talk. It is what it is. Battlefield 5 is out now with EA Access, 10-hour trial for those that have it. I've seen screenshots from Dealer Gaming that said he thinks this is one of the best looking titles that he's seen on his Xbox One X. He says it's looking close to native 4K and 60 frames a second on that Frostbite engine. I still hold true with my thought process on Battlefield 5. It's not for me unless it's gifted to me, but I don't, even at that point, I don't want people wasting their money to gift it to me, because I think this game's going to drop in EA Access within a couple months of it coming out. I just think that it's the setting that's the issue, and some other things with it had some controversy going on. But do you guys have EA Access, and are you going to play Battlefield 5? Hop in if you want to. Titan.
You know what? Dealer says these things often. He said, it's got great graphics, but he didn't say anything about the gameplay. He didn't. He's very specific, and I'm sure he's going to be right about the graphics. But to me, it's not all about the graphics. The graphics from the last Battlefield 1, those graphics were amazing. It played amazing. It played the best to me out of any Battlefield. But it was missing elements. It was missing a lot of other elements.
Yeah, because Battlefront 1 looked impressive to me, Battlefront, like Star Wars Battlefront by EA. We're talking about how games look. That game looked amazing to me. And that was before I had my Xbox One X. But just because a game looks outstanding, it still has to rely on its laurels and its gameplay. At the end of the day, that's what the meat and potatoes of it are. And if it doesn't have that Battlefield feel, it's just not going to be there for me. And I just, this setting, I played the beta for a little bit. There were some things there that I liked, but at the same time, I think this Battlefield situation is just, it's going to die out super quick. And like I said, it's going to drop in EA Access, and it's going to look really good on the Xbox One X in EA Access, if you catch my drift. So Chad, if you're going to be playing this, or you have played it, let us know. Type a 1 if you are going to play Battlefield 5. type 2 if you're not interested. Invader, what about you? Do you have EA access? Are you going to be playing this at all, or what do you think?
I do not have EA access, but I did play the beta for it, and I can say that Battlefield 5 I'm not interested in, which is a shame because I did enjoy Battlefield 1, although it did have a bunch of faults to it. I did enjoy what was there and what they were trying to do. But for me, it's all right. So every DICE game that I've played, they all look gorgeous. They're all some of like the best looking games on the systems that they're on. However, to me, it's like over the past few games, there seems to be a decrease in content, whether that be single player content and so on. And I don't know. I'm not when you see a highly touted mode from them that you thought would be released, Firestorm, not be close to even the launch release. It's like 5-6 months out. I'm kind of worried about what's going on with this game. Plus, then you add the controversy even early on from the first reveal and just all like the little backlashes in between. Like, I'm not liking the mood for this game, and I'm just worried like there seems to be less and less single player content. I know they got the war stories coming back, but there just even seems to be less war stories now. Yeah. And I'm worried, man. I'm worried about this game, and I'm just not liking how it's going to be in the end. So that's a pass for me.
I'm not a fan of those war stories, man. In Battlefield 1, snooze fest for me. But
yeah,
it is.
Well, I just never understood the fact that, like, okay, you can tell some good stories, but like they don't have the same amount of content. So you might have a good story and premise there in some of them, but they don't get equal amount of length to them as well. So it was just kind of weird how they space them out.
Yeah, you know what? I go ahead, Titan.
I think the only thing that's going to bring me into this game is releasing the battle royale mode, whatever the hell they call it. I don't even want to remember it anymore. But whatever that Firestorm, if they release that free to play, then I'll come over and play it, and we'll go from there. But I think that releasing that free to play is the only way they're going to get me and probably a lot of other gamers to jump in. Besides their hardcore, of course, they've got their hardcore fan base, but I am not one of those.
I think that they might have pushed back the Battle Royale mode to kind of soften the blow when they announced that it's going to be free to play. I kind of have some weird thought process that might be the case.
I hope that's the case.
I mean, that'd be good for me because I'm not going to buy the game, but I think a lot of the customers might be upset when they said that this, Battle Royale was going to be a piece of the pie, and you take that out and you section it out and you kind of push it back and kind of help people forget about it, and then it goes free to play. I think that some people are going to be up in arms about that. Punk, what do you think, man? Battlefield 5 for you or no?
Well, I did finish download tonight. I probably won't get a chance to play it personally, but I've said on another podcast before, this is a huge game as far as like my brother-in-laws go. Like, they enjoy these games a lot, and anything I can play call with them, it's a good time. It's just like any other game, any other shooter. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a huge shooter guy anyway, so I'm going to give it a shot, especially in the EA access. As far as buying it, that will remain to be seen. I'll just have to see how it goes, really.
Well, guess what else is going to be coming out in March? They're going to be talking about the next Call of Duty. That's like when they start talking about the next Call of Duty for the coming up year.
Yeah, true. And then the Battle Royale, I'm having a blast in Blackout, so that's just like not even a thought for me right now. So I could care less about that being delayed.
Yeah, good luck pulling us away from Blackout, dude. That game is outstanding, especially with the updates to the tick rate and stuff. It runs smooth, man. Awesome. Shout out to Dark Optimus, man. T.S.G.P, brother.
Dark.
Yeah, we got nerdy about the tick rates in game chat the other night.
Yeah, just to let you guys know how nerdy me and some of these dudes are on the panel, man. We do research on tick rates and all kinds of shit. Like
while we're playing, while we're dead.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like this shit's running interesting, and this is what this term is, and this is where we're looking this shit up while we're playing Blackout, man. We're nerds. So
nice.
Just doing our research for the show. Yeah.
Nerds.
So let's move on to the next topic. Activision's apparently unhappy with Destiny 2 sales. They had some quarter earnings and stuff like that, and people talked about that, and their stock is dropping because of this whole Blizzard situation with Diablo. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Activision's the puppet master, and they're pulling the strings behind Bungie. And just because you think the situation's fine with Destiny right now, I think eventually it's going to swing back to that casual zone. And I think the people that are going to suffer are going to be those hardcore Destiny players that like the way the game is now. Because in the end, if they come out and say, hey, we're not happy with the cells, then changes are going to come. It's just a 1-2 for it, you know? So what do you guys think of this message from Activision? They're not happy with Destiny 2 cells.
I'm sad.
Let's start off with Punk, because you're the Destiny guy.
This is a very sad day, man. It makes me makes me wonder like what is gonna come for.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah. And then they said like we saw the articles before like, oh well, we're gonna cater towards the hardcore, but now this shit drops out, and now I'm like, okay, now we got to revert what the hell we're doing again, take everything back to the drawing board and start from square one. Like, it's scary, dude. I mean, obviously, me being the guy I am, I'm gonna buy it. There's no doubt in that. It is what it is. But it definitely puts some thought to it about what the hell is going on behind the scenes. And like Salty said, I mean, Activision, they do what they do, so Bungie can't do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, look, dude, we're paying the money. You're gonna fucking do it this way, and it's just the way it's gonna have to be. It's a sad day here,
man. Let us know if you guys play Destiny. I heard a lot on social media when I retweeted this, and people were saying, "Well, isn't that 10-year deal up for their contract?" And I have no idea what the specifics are there. But the first Destiny came out in 2014. So if you're going based off of game releases, so when that first game came out, if it's a 10-year contract, then they would be, making games until 2024. So
they would have definitely went off of when they started making that game. So you need to find out when they started making.
So you're talking about when the process started?
Yeah.
That was like 2009, 2008. Like they started.
There you go.
There was even hints of it in ODST, Halo 3 ODST.
Do you really think the contract would be based off of development time? Because development time can go for years. Like. I would think it'd be based off of actual release, because you can control that, right? Hey, you're going to release your first game in 2014, and then this contract will extend out 10 years. I mean, it's conjecture at this point, but it would be weird for them to be like, hey, we're going to give you a contract, and then what if it took them 8 years to get Destiny out? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see. If you guys know the ins and outs, if you guys are a lawyer, let us know.
What it sounds like is like the NFL, like the NFLPA or whatever, like they do it X amount of years, and that's what this kind of sounds like.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're going to be under control until they're not under control, but as long as they are under Activision's watch, they're going to do what they want. They tell them, right? You're going to meet our goals, right? So let us know if you guys are worried about the Destiny situation, and probably D3 is going to be like D2 in the beginning, because Bungie likes to, I think it's Activision and Bungie go in this like roller coaster loop thing. They repeat things and they go down, then they go up, and they go down, and they go up, and they keep doing things over and over. So any other thoughts before we move on? No? Okay.
I'll say this. It's amazing that, Bungie wanted independence from Microsoft so that they could make something new and something that was theirs. And then they partner with Activision. So sure, they have all kinds of money behind them, right? And lo and behold, it's probably an even worse situation for them.
I guarantee that.
Yeah, so it's just the irony in all this has not left me. So I'll be interesting to see how this ends for them, say the least.
Without a doubt, dude. Next topic: GTA 5 hits a milestone that I don't know a game's gonna break in a very long time. GTA 5 hits 100 million copies sold, which is crazy, guys. 100 million. I personally have bought GTA 5 like 3 times, I think. I know a lot of people have purchased it multiple times because it came out on the 360, and then I bought on the Xbox One, and I think I traded it in. And then they came out with that update for the first-person mode, and then I bought it again. So GTA is one of those games where you keep buying it over and over. So I want to talk about that milestone, and I also want to talk about the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2 sold more in less than a week than the first Red Deads did in the entire lifespan. So we're talking about it's crazy numbers. They're pushing crazy numbers out there. What was it? 17 million copies. Bananas, guys. So do you guys think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to get close to GTA 5 in terms of that milestone, or do you think that that's just not going to be touched?
Depends how they approach the multiplayer.
Okay, so it's dependent on Red Dead Redemption 2 online or whatever the fuck they're going to call it, right?
I would say because it's not that the base game isn't any good by all means. It's getting all kinds of praises, obviously, because they've pushed that much within a short period of time. So obviously people are very happy and reviews are very good for that section. But what gives GTA 5 such longevity is its online, right? And they're able to monetize that as well.
It's true. So games as a service model, pretty much, right? Like they've added game modes and all kinds of stuff that have kept that community active and buying microtransactions, right? That's the game. One of the games that has the most activity when it comes to microtransactions. I forgot they put out numbers and it's staggering, right? It's completely staggering. So in addition to this $100 million copies sold, the microtransactions are going to just crush that number based off of how much money they're making. And that's where the real money comes in. And realistically, and not a lot of people like to hear that dirty word, microtransactions, but that's what it is. I do have to agree with Invader. This online situation is going to be interesting to see how they approach the Red Dead 2 online. I think it's going to be like GTA. Why would you differ from that model that works, right? This made you so much money. They need to fit it into the Red Dead world, which there's a lot of things you can't do there. Right. And they can kind of modify it, but I fully expect it to be GTA-esque, if that makes sense. So do you think that Red Dead 2 will ever hit that 100 million mark, or do you think that thing's just not going to be touched? I don't know. Punk, let's talk about it, dude. What do you think of these numbers?
I mean, what it said was a guy in the chat was been 8 days. I mean, like to hit 17 million. I mean, like that's a pretty nice jump start, so to speak. Awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like that's insane. Like that's a crazy number to reach. Like I said, when the online comes out, I mean, it's going to be a whole nother ball game. And I was reading the chat too, and I'm just kind of going off what people are saying. You know, I think Hazard, he said GTA 5 is like a MMO, you know, so people are just buying it for online now, like strictly online. So if Red Dead follows that suit and they put the money, and they clearly have the money, so and they just invest into that game plan that they've already got working. I mean, it's with that jump start, it's definitely possible. I wouldn't say it's untouchable at all. I mean, we can sit here and be like, all right, in 8 years from now, or however long, 5 years, we can go back like on this podcast to see if our predictions are right. It's definitely approachable by definitely. That's all I gotta say, dude. It's insane. Those numbers are absurd.
I can't wait to see what they do with this online situation, man. It's just one of those things where it's like Christmas morning almost. It's like not a lot of details have been leaked about this online for Red Dead 2, and I'm just curious to see how it's going to be, because this world is amazing. You know, it's second to none when it comes to just how realistic it feels, and to be able to experience this with my buddies, like go rob trains and shit, like and have that organic feel of Red Dead 2. This is going to be on some next level shit, and I fully expect it to exceed my expectations, because I think this is just kind of off the top of my dome. I think that Rockstar spent $800 million dollars or something like that in the like development costs for this game. So they risked a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of time into this game. But it's like they put all their chips onto the table at Vegas. They're doubling down, and boom, they immediately get their money back, and now they're playing with house money, you know. So this is going to be the next big thing for Rockstar. It's going to be going into the whatever Xbox Scarlet and PlayStation. You know, they'll come out with updated versions of those or whatever. So this is just going to be a repeat of that. Titan, what do you think, man? Did he get kicked again?
I think he got kicked.
Hey,
I want to say something real quick, if you don't mind. Like this game is so huge. Like even at my work, or like when like my softball games, you know, stuff that I go to, people I didn't even know played fucking video games. Like, man, I got to get back to that Red Dead. I'm like, I didn't even fucking know you played games, bro. Like that's how huge this game is. Like you're finding out these things about people you didn't know shit about. I thought that was kind of like fun fact, really.
Hey, that's a fact, dude. I have a buddy that doesn't game, and he has a system that he only watches Netflix on, you know? And he's like, dude, I know you know about video games. What do you think about Red Dead? And I was like, dude, this is weird talking to you about video games. You know?
That's cool, man.
Spider-Man says 650 million. Was that the development cost? I don't know. It's a lot of it's a lot of money, right? 650. I was off, but that's still a hell of a lot of money, dude. 650 million. That's not chump change. Like, you're putting that money into developing a game, and I know it's kind of less of a risk because of the success of the first game, but in all reality, nothing's a sure thing in this life, you know what I'm saying? So they did take a risk putting that time and money into that game. Like, they have a cash cow in GTA 5. It's basically a money printing machine at this point, but they still took a risk, and I applaud Rockstar for doing it. They didn't play it safe. So I think it's amazing there. Eternals Shaddai with the $5 super chat says, until Bully 2 comes out or LA Noire 2, the subject will change.
Well, Bully 2, there have been rumors about that even going back like 2 years. So apparently, supposedly that could be a thing. There's been hints at it. I wouldn't be surprised. Even casting calls, I think, too, that have been hinted at for it. So I'd put my money on it.
I never played the Bully game, so I don't really have a dog in the race per se, but I've seen people's responses and I've seen, videos on it and stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about like that getting a sequel and stuff, but it's going to be a while before Rockstar gets any game out, right? Their focus is on Red Dead 2 right now, so we shall see. Let's move on to the next topic. We'll talk about Crackdown 3 because I want to get Titan's thought. Oh, he's back. He's back.
I'm back. I returned. My internet is not being legendary tonight or yesterday.
How's your adventure there, sir? Let's talk about the Xbox One X. It hit its 1 year anniversary 1 year later. I want to get our thoughts on it and kind of go into another topic. First of all, I just want to say that the Xbox One X has been one of my favorite consoles that I've ever owned. I know it's a mid-gen system, but like it's built so well. Like I can't even hear it when it's on. The visuals that this game puts out are second to none. I've just been fully satisfied with my purchase. I don't even have a 4K TV yet, and I still see the benefits of having the system with the the textures and the way the game looks, the super sampling, all the stuff. So I feel good about having my Xbox One X, and the sales are doing well. I remember when it was announced at E3 for $500, everybody was shitting on that price point. No one's going to buy it. This is a waste of money. This mid-gen refresh concept is a fail. Fast forward down the line and where are we at, right? Let's talk about 1 year later. Do you guys all have Xbox One X's, and how do you feel about the system and your purchase?
Yeah, we all got them.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I got them.
What kind of Xbox gamer would you be if you didn't have one, dude? This thing is phenomenal. And the best thing about from when it came out, because, everybody was saying like that it couldn't do native. And everybody was like, dude, like all of us fans of the system were like, dude, like just give it time. Give developers some time with the system. It's going to be great. And all these games, like the list is absurd. I'm not going to sit here and say every game does native 4K because it doesn't. But just the fact that, we're just talking about Red Dead 2, like the biggest game can hit native.
Exactly.
Like if this game would have came out last year when it was supposed to, like, would it have hit native? We don't even know that. Probably not. If you think about it, probably not. They wouldn't have the extra development time to do that. So, dude, the purchase has been fantastic. Believe it or not, I took my shit out of preview, and my Xbox is running so much better. So a little snippet there, but it's been phenomenal, dude. I would spend another $500 easily to replace it, even if I didn't have a warranty.
Yeah, so real quick, I'm going to touch off of what you said. So when you implement new hardware, it takes time for developers to use the power of those systems. So the things that we're seeing with Red Dead 2, we're going to just see more and more of that, right? With the X utilization. So like the difference between Red Dead 2 on the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro is night and day. You're seeing people that would never play things on the Xbox One X go out and buy the system just because of the fidelity that they're seeing on the system. And you're going to just continue to see this if the developers developers do their jobs, this gap is gonna widen, right, between the two systems. People are saying this is the biggest gap in visual fidelity that they've seen in the consoles in forever. So the Xbox One X is just going to continue to show its muscle per se in future games, and I look forward to that. Like Anthem is saying that they're going to have a performance mode and a quality mode. You're seeing more and more of that. It's good. It's good for gaming, honestly, and power does matter and gameplay matters, you know. So Invader, do you have an Xbox One X, and what do you think of the system itself and this 1 year it's been out?
Oh yeah, I have an Xbox One X. I have even the Project Scorpio one, so I got it like, you know, really early as well.
Yep.
And yeah, you know, I am really happy with it. Like Titan Drago said, I can't hear it when it's on. It's an extremely well built piece of kit. Like the hardware is really, really nice, and it looks kind of nice too. Actually, it's got that nice subtle look to it. As far as the actual graphics go, yeah, I mean, it produces some stunning visuals, even for games that didn't have the Xbox One X in mind, and then they get the X enhancements later on, like Doom. Doom was an already amazing looking game, and then it just bumped it up so much. Like even the frames per second, I can't believe like what I'm playing, the difference in the game. It's absolutely stunning. And then there's the games that I'm looking forward to, like Metro Exodus. Like that game looks phenomenal. I can only imagine how it's gonna be with the X in mind, and if there's going to be different performance modes there, and so on and so forth. So I like the options that we got with it. I do have some minor gripes with it, like with Xbox and their exclusive situation. I would have liked them to have like more heavy hitters for it to showcase it, personally. I mean, sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have the Forza games, which they look stunning. But, you know, I'm kind of missing personally like that Crackdown game still, if you know what I mean.
Heck yeah. Okay.
And
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying that we all know, because like it's weird that people kind of separate the two. It's like, well, you either need to have games or you need to have power. It's like, well, why can't you have both? You know, like we want people understand the power of first party exclusives and having exclusive games, but it's like, what can we do with it at this point? It's not like we can't play third party games and enjoy that. We want all of it, and all of that's coming down the pipeline.
Totally. You know, and I'm not even trying to detract.
Sure.
I'm just saying, you know, if these are just like minor gripes for me, because we're in the know, right? We talk about games. Exactly. We're in the gaming scene, so we're in the know, and I get it. Just, you know, minor gripes here and there because I know what the situation is, right?
So at this point, you're just, you know, at the nitpicking stage, and that's how good of a console it is, really. I mean, it's worth the money in spades, honestly. And then Black Friday, there's going to be some phenomenal deals out there. I sound like a salesman here, but I like the system that much. Titan Drago, how has your experience been with the Xbox One X, having it for a year now?
Yep, I got the Scorpio edition as well, and I'm thoroughly satisfied, and I'm a very, you know, picky and cost minded gamer stuff. I'm cheap, if you want to call it that way, whatever you want to call it. But
frugal.
Yeah, like this system I remade I'm Wanted by John Bon Jovi and turned that into a video on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, it's called I'm the One X.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I love it. I love everything it does. It's me being an Xbox fan. It's been awesome because it's ruffled so many other companies' feathers. It's ruffled PlayStation guys' feathers, even PC elitists, because, you know, like they tried and you just can't build a $500 PC without taking out the operating system and this and that, and it just can't match with the One X for $500. And I love the fact that it did that. And let's not forget about what it's already done for us, right? Because right now we're living high on you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's fantastic. Like the other day, like in Red Dead Redemption 2, I had like the moon shining down, and it was like a different color from the moon shining down from like 30 feet away. It was fantastic. And there was rolling like fog in the distance. It was like literally just captivated me, and this is what the One X can do for you. And like I was saying, let's not forget what it's already done for us. Games like Gears 4, like Conan Exiles, Ark, just to name a few that have already had like substantial upgrades over any other system. And that's what you get with this. And that's why I love it.
Hyena Den, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I've got a Project Scorpio edition as well. I got mine actually about, I would say, a month later. And so I was prepping for this whole launch like a year in advance. I got my 4K TV and stuff like that, and it's been really smooth ridings throughout the launch of it, and several months after the Scorpio edition actually came out. Outside of both of my 4K TVs just imploding on me. So I'm back to a really bad plasma TV from like circa 2008. But even then, the games still look wonderful on the Xbox One X. And it's just nice to see this console doing exactly what it said it would do from the start, because you'd have people that weren't exactly tech savvy saying that, 60 flops of computational power isn't enough to run games in 4K, and we've already seen how much bullshit that is with Red Dead and both of the Forza games and Gears of War and so on and so forth. And then you had the people saying, "Oh, well, this is going to launch at like $800, $900," and it's like, no, it's fucking not. Yeah, it's been a really, really awesome ride with the console throughout, and. It's nice to ditch my old Xbox One and give it to my dad so that I can upgrade to this.
Yeah, like I wasn't sad to see my Xbox Fat go. I got a really good deal. I traded I traded into GameStop and got like 140 or 120. I felt like I was robbing them per se when I walked out of the store because the guy gave me the money. And I was like, man, they got to be dumb to be giving me this much money in cash. But I was like, okay, just walk out slow. Don't turn around. This guy made a mistake. It's fine. It's whatever. I got the money. And I ended up using that towards like a Switch or something. But yeah, man, I did not miss the old fat. I love my X. It's so sleek and small on my entertainment system. It's awesome. So, in counterpart to that, the PlayStation 4 Pro is kind of getting a little bit of an upgrade per se. It's not an upgrade. It's like a moderate change to it. They're going to be changing the fans on there, so it doesn't sound like a fucking jet engine when it is taken off when you're playing it. I have no interest personally in getting a PlayStation 4 Pro just because it doesn't do enough to warrant upgrading to that Pro. Even if I had a 4K TV, I just wouldn't see the value there because it's not giving you the textures. It's not hitting native 4K on pretty much any titles that they have for first party. So I think the slim model is the way to go for the PlayStation, the regular model. But, I just wanted to get that information out there. So they're trying to fix that fan situation for the PlayStation 4 Pro. So if you guys are looking at getting one for the holiday, maybe you can get that upgraded version so it doesn't sound like a, jet engine taking off. You guys don't own a PlayStation 4 Pro, right?
Hell no.
How many of you guys?
Negative.
All right, so next topic, Crackdown 3 is quote unquote getting a new name. It's going to be called Crackdown 3 New Providence. I don't know what the hell this means. I just kind of excited about the possibilities of Crackdown 3. Like I said, if they deliver on the promises of the past, like destructibility of the multiplayer, I think that's going to be fun, man. What do you guys think of this new title? Like, do you guys sleuths there? You guys Crackdown 3 experts? Like, what does this mean? New Providence.
It's not a new title. That's just like clickbait or something. It's like the title's still Crackdown. It's just like it seems like they're releasing the entire title for it. It's not like that's not like a week before XO. They're like, we gotta change the name. No, they're not doing that.
No. So nobody knows the lore of Crackdown and know like what this actually means.
Well, isn't New Providence the city that's set in?
Is it?
I mean that's what it could be. I don't know.
That is a Colt Eastwood question.
Yeah, Colt Eastwood question.
If you guys are Crackdown fanatics and experts, let us know what this New Providence situation is.
What if it's a section of the city and we're gonna get a beta announcement for Crackdown 3?
Okay.
You know, I hope the name was just like a little hint towards the new abilities that are gonna come to the game. You know, the destruction and stuff that's gonna come to the map or whatever the hell the map is called. But I hope that was like
good talk.
Did he?
Good
you get
right in the middle,
and he's out. Oh my god! I think he's stealing Wi-Fi from the local McDonald's, so he'll have to get on him about that, like upping their bandwidth. You know,
he must have hit up. He must have hit up Dark Optimus or something. You know,
yeah. He's like, oh, Dark's leaving, so I'll take over his spot with the botting and the fading out. So anyway, Square Enix has lost $30 million apparently. They came out with Shadow of the Tomb Raider that was kind of well received, and it made actually a good amount of money for them. But they've lost money in other areas, starting up a new, development team and some other things. They're actually not going to be coming out with Final Fantasy DLC per se. You guys Square Enix fans at all? Do you guys care about the situation here? No,
yes? I am not.
Well. Okay. It's hard to, I'm still playing through. I'm still early on in Final Fantasy 15. I am enjoying the game. I'll say that. It's funny. My best friend, he texted me earlier today and he was like telling me about the situation. He's like, yeah, so there's all this drama going on Square Enix and they just canceled this and the director left and basically they're like just going to release one bad DLC and then the rest is gone.
Yeah, I wanted to play the new Final Fantasy, but for some reason I didn't ever get to it. I heard the combat was kind of clunky and stuff. It's just a huge open world game. I don't know. Eventually I might get to it. Chad, if you guys are fans of Final Fantasy, I just want to get this word out there for you. It's kind of news there. Square Enix is I like them per se. I like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think it was amazing. And then they're kind of doing the Avengers project. So I hope that they're doing okay. I hope this isn't signs of bad things to come there. But it's kind of a little topic that I wanted to get out to you guys. I don't think that we have to worry per se about them closing out or anything, but they are losing money. So it's kind of a hard go in gaming for some people. Let's move on to the next topic. BioWare's Anthem is going to feature a performance mode and a quality mode on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X. Also, it's been announced that BioWare's Anthem is going to feature Mass Effect armor. So I want to talk about that. You guys, Anthem is my most anticipated game for 2019. I've told a lot of people this, and I like Mass Effect. I'm not like a Mass Effect junkie per se, but I think this is outstanding. This screenshot of this Mass Effect armor looks badass, dude. It's like a gray armor with like red and white, has the logo there. Like, this shit looks tight. I think it's a good team up there to kind of cross over and put these in there. What do you guys think of this news? Do you guys Mass Effect, fanboys chat? Panel, let's talk about it. Hyena Den, what do you think of this news here?
This is really interesting. Like you, I wasn't planning on having Anthem as my most anticipated game of 2019, but over the last few months and stuff, every announcement that comes out with this game, my hype is slowly building. Hell yeah. And I am actually a huge fan of the Mass Effect games. So I think it would be really cool. I'm interested in hopefully seeing more about their performance mode on the Pro and X for Anthem once that obviously comes out. I want to see what the disparity is between those two consoles on this game because of how big the open world actually seems. And there's a lot of AI in the game too. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to all play out.
Chad, if you're excited for Anthem and this, Mass Effect armor, let us know. Type of 1 in the chat. 2, if you're not interested in Anthem, let's get some numbers out there, kind of see what the feelers are for this. Invader, what do you think, man? Mass Effect armor and Anthem, what's going on here?
Well, first, with the performance mode and whatnot, I think that's good on them to do that, giving the player options on both the high-end PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles. I mean, hey, more options, the better, and kudos to them for trying to do that. I think all games should be doing that now. As far as the armor, I haven't seen it, but I mean that's cool. It's not. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, especially in that engine too. That engine looks fantastic. I will say, like, it's not uncommon for like EA published games to do that either. Like, even in Garden Warfare games, like they've had like Mass Effect armor crossovers too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like with the imp and the mech too. So it's just interesting like that. But no, that's cool on them to do like some cross branding stuff. Like it makes sense that way. As far as Anthem as a whole, like I know my buddy Jago there is pretty excited about Anthem. He's all pumped up for it. As for myself, I don't know. I just can't find myself being excited for it as of yet because. Okay. I need to see more of the world itself, how open it is, and what kind of missions we're gonna do. Like, and I just want to get because we haven't really seen all that much of it. Like, okay, we have seen gameplay for it, but like just as to what like the variety of missions are and like how the end game is gonna be for this, right? Because is there gonna be like, is it gonna have like a Destiny kind of thing where there's gonna be events and stuff?
They've talked about some of that stuff, but they haven't revealed too much. I know that they're going to have raids. That's going to be a thing, so that's cool. I think it was 8-man raids too, right? I don't know. I know the numbers are higher, but like the end game content seems pretty cool per se, but they haven't revealed details on the public events. Like that kind of stuff needs to be hashed out for the longevity of the game because they're not going to be having PvP per se, you know, so they need to hit that PvE content, you know, hit the nail on the head per se. I think there's a lot of people in your boat though, Invader, that they're kind of sitting back and waiting because EA is involved, and whenever you mention EA, they're just people just kind of cringe, right? They think they hear some of these games like Anthem looks amazing, but they're like, oh shit, EA's involved, I'm out. Like I hate EA, blah blah blah, they're the devil.
Well,
and it's just like, you know.
Even BioWare the past couple of years too, they haven't really performed as to what they have in like the Mass Effect 2 days, even Mass Effect 3, to say the least. And I don't know, I just that and the whole EA stigma too. Like honestly, I just don't trust EA personally, especially over the last year, I would say. How they've just mismanaged certain brands, like look Mass Effect Andromeda, for example. So yeah, I'm kind of sketchy on it. That and the fact, like, look, it might be just my preferences too. I'm looking forward to other games more, so that could be it. Like, honestly, if you're into this game, like, that's cool. No problem with it. But it's also like a kind of a crowded time of the year too. So when it's releasing,
it's very crowded, man.
Yeah, because, you know, like for me, I got Metro Exodus and Crackdown more on my radar, but I don't know. I'm like, again, it looks like a beautiful game. And it looks very interesting. I want to see more from it before I make a decision.
Yeah, like, see, I'm kind of the opposite there. Like the Metro Exodus situation, not really too excited about that because the other Metro games were kind of not my bag. And Crackdown actually has spiked my interest because it's in Game Pass and I'm seeing good things with that. So Crackdown and Anthem will be the big ones for me. And then the Division 2, I'm not going to be buying that until like a deep sell on it because it's an open world game. I think for the most part, unless you're just not doing anything else besides gaming, there's only so much time in the day, and like getting two massive open world games that require a lot of time that are looters at the same time. How are you going to devote your time to both games? It's almost impossible for me. So it's like either Anthem or Division. It's no brainer for me for Anthem, you know, so that the Division 2 will be a deep sell for me. And then those other games, you just got to kind of pick which one you want to get when it drops, you know. So Titan Drago, you're back.
I'm back. God damn, internet.
It's all good, dude. Anthem, you excited about it? And then the Mass Effect armor, did you see any screenshots of this?
I did not see the screenshots of the armor. The game itself, I'm kind of teetering on it because the PvE games kind of scare me. Am I on this alone? Because I don't know. I just get worried about the value or lack thereof when it comes to PvE games. Like, there's got to be like legitimate multiplayer modes on games like for me to really get hooked in and drawn in by it. Like if there and more than one multiplayer mode too. Like Destiny has how many multiplayers? It's got the deathmatch. Punk, help me out here. It's got the deathmatch. What else has it got? Multiplayer modes. Like
Gambit, all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bunch of shit. Let's go with that.
Yeah, so like that's what scares me about Anthem. That's what worries me about Anthem.
So are you more a Division 2 dude then, or what?
Even that, the Division 1 let me down horribly. I liked it for like a week or two, and then it kind of fell off the face of the earth. Maybe that was due to other games. I can't remember right now because it's so long ago, but I mean, it kind of fell off the face of the earth, and it didn't seem like that was just me. It seemed like it happened like that for everybody because of the problems and stuff it had. But I was expecting to beat the campaign at least, and I didn't even do that.
It's true. Chat, let us know. 1 for Anthem, 2 for Division 2. Let us know which one are you going to be picking up. 3 for both, I guess, if you got time for both of them. Good for you, because I don't think I'm going to be able to devote my time to both of those things. But we'll move on to the next topic here. I just want to touch upon the MPD reveals a list of top-selling games for the last whatever it's since 1995, and it's interesting to look at this list, man. 2017 Call of Duty, 16 Call of Duty, 15 Call of Duty, 14 Call of Duty. Then you have a GTA 5, 12 was Call of Duty. The list goes on. Long story short, there's been 8 Call of Duty titles, a couple of GTAs, some Maddens, and then a Rock Band, and that's about it. That's like the top selling games of the year for the list. So you're talking until 2002, like it's just a few same titles. We're talking about COD is the top selling game each year, and it's going to be up there this year. It's not going. I don't think it will outsell Red Dead. But it's interesting that so few games actually are the top selling game. Like Call of Duty is just that seller. It's interesting to think about, like, why is this the case? Like, are gamers that much interested in first-person shooters, or is it a COD thing? Like, what do you guys think of these, like, results here? Because it's pretty consistent. I mean, GTA, Madden, Call of Duty, that's about it, right? Since 2002, like, top-selling games. What do you think it is about this COD situation that draws gamers to it, you know? Like...
Well, dude, COD was that game that came out obviously when the release of the 360 came out, and it just hit the ground running, and I had a phenomenal time with that game. And I said, then obviously the debate is, well, it's not even really a debate, really. Like, it can go really into the casual, it can go really into the hardcore. You know, it's there, it's pick up and play. Like, it doesn't require skill. Not to say it doesn't require skill, but like it doesn't take much. You know, you can get on there and learn that thing in like an hour, you know, even if you didn't even play shooters. So it's not hard to see why that game has always sold so well. As simple as that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the content too. Like, you look at, you know, it has for the most part, except for Black Ops 4, it's had, you know, a pretty standard campaign. You got the multiplayer, which is always filled to the brim, and then you have a separate mode, whether it be a Spec Ops or a Zombies mode. You know, there's always a little something extra there. So there's always a sense of value in the purchase to what you can get out of it, and you know that it's going to be competent.
Yeah, it's weird to me because, like, I hear the last couple of years, oh man, COD's struggling, COD's falling off. You know, Call of Duty is just gonna go to the heap and the trash bin. And you look at these results, it's like COD. It's like, even when the COD was garbage, it's top selling. It's just like, and then they're talking about Blackout this year, and then Black Ops. It's like, damn, like, Call of Duty has just been king for so long. Even when people say it's shit, they buy it still. It's an interesting topic to me because it, like, sparks my interest. It's like, well, is first person shooter the king for gaming right now? Because Call of Duty sells and sells and sells. I'm like, is it a Call of Duty thing, or is it a first person shooter thing that kind of gamers look towards this at this point? I just thought it was a fun topic because you guys have heard it from a lot of people. Call of Duty's falling off. Oh man, it's not going to sell this year. I'm not going to buy it. And then you buy it. I mean, they keep doing it, putting out a product.
It's a really tough question, and my best guess would be is because, like, Modern Warfare 1, 2, Halo 1, 2, and 3, like those games like really changed the FPS genre. And I think those games brought in just a ridiculously huge, like bigger than any, single exclusive game can do or any. They just brought in this huge wave of fans. And, those fans are kind of getting split up now that there's more first-person shooter games being released all the time. But those games, man, like they really lit a firecracker under the what was it back in the 360, right? That was a 360. And that's when they really blew up, and I don't see any other game doing what those games did. That would be my best answer to it.
Okay, so it just kind of took the genre forward and then never looked back. It's just interesting.
First-person shooter games before Modern Warfare 1, right? They were bland and stuff. And Modern Warfare 1 added like legit tactics. It had a big map. Like you had the Joe Montana grenades because the maps were so big, right? And it was just so brilliantly done. And that's when online really just blew up and the first-person shooter genre blew up.
True. It's interesting, man. I like looking at analytics. I've said this before, and then just to see one game consistently on top year after year after year after year, it just kind of makes me think. It's just like, what is it about this game that consistently gamers go out and buy no matter what, even if it sucks? They just keep buying it, and then, it's the product there. There's something there that like draws gamers to it consistently, because you have to, in this day and age, you have to kind of modify things, and people get tired of shit easily, but COD is consistently on top, and they don't look like they're slowing down at any time. Because like this year, they're like, oh, we're going to take the campaign out. People are like, oh, we're gonna boycott COD. Then what happens? It's selling gangbusters. So It's just kind of a cute little topic to talk about. So let's talk about Microsoft's XO event real quick, and then we'll get out of here. XO event is coming down, and there's been some details released by Microsoft themselves. They're kind of trying to set expectations for fans, trying to get out, a list of things that are going to be going down with it. Clobril on Twitter has been up and down. We talked about this at the pregame. He's been spiking expectations for fans. Oh my God, this is going to be so crazy. Crackdown 3 is going to be crazy. You guys need to be hyped. This shit's going to be crazy. And then all of a sudden, people switch their tone and they're like, oh my God, don't get your hopes up. I mean, their expectations are too high. It's like, well, you guys are setting those expectations. You guys are fucking putting people in the stratosphere. So I'm just trying to figure out where I should be going into this. I'm at the point where I'm kind of lowered my expectations. So I think this is just going to be a 2-hour XO event with surprises per se, right? So they said they're going to have Forza Horizon 4, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3 is one of the bigger things, because they're going to show that off, and people are saying it's going to be the multiplayer there, and they say much more, and some surprises. People are saying that the rumored acquisition of Obsidian Entertainment is not going to go down. They're still working on that behind the scenes. So I'm wondering if we're even going to get an announcement of a studio acquisition at this point. Like, it's kind of I don't know, interesting to see what's going to actually happen at this event. So what do you guys think of this news? Do you think that we should just have our expectations super low, or are you kind of keeping them high still?
Honestly, for me, like, if people want to lower their expectations, that's perfectly fine. I don't know if I said this last week, but for me, if you don't shoot for the stars, you're going to land on a rock, and there's just nothing that's going to be there for you. But I think it's a problem with mixed signals. I think not just from whether it's people on Twitter or within the community. I think Microsoft themselves aren't helping the situation with how people feel about what's going to happen at XO, because I think that they're sending mixed signals as well. Like they said that there would be on Major Nelson's blog. They said that Phil Spencer and Matt Booty would be on guest at XO, and then that's awesome. If you're not going to bring them on, if they're just going to talk about nonsense for 2 hours, right? But And at E3, Phil Spencer, hinted that they would show, Playground Games' next project later. If anybody that says the word later casually, they don't mean a year later. They later means, within the next month, 2 months. If that, it's, there's just a lot of mixed signals going around in the community, and I'm very confused with what's going on, because if they want this to be like past XOs, which is what Phil Spencer said as well, there's nothing stopping them from making it like past XOs with major third-party announcements and stuff like that. They're also saying that there's going to be over a dozen Game Pass titles that's going to be announced there. So it's just very confusing with everything that's going on right now. A lot of mixed signals.
Mixed signals by the PR team and Xbox. Who would have thought, right? I mean, this has never happened before. I mean, they're always on their game. Some of the interesting things I've seen from chat, Crackdown 3 beta announcement, that'd be cool. I like that. I like that prediction.
Yeah.
Ninja Theory game trailer would be awesome. I think that's a possibility for sure. Maybe they'll announce the acquisition of Turtle Rock Studios, because what the fuck have they done lately, of note? So, I mean, a studio announcement, show off Crackdown, show that the destructibility there, make some surprised announcements. I'll be happy with that, but a lot of gamers are never happy either way, right? I think Microsoft makes an announcement, people are going to be disappointed no matter what. Like, that's just status quo. So I don't know. Invader, what do you think, man?
Well,
stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing I had alluded a little bit and touched on it earlier, but I'll say this. There's a reason why they're bringing back the whole XO event, right? Because, they've announced some big stuff at this kind of event before, like the acquisition of Rare, for example. So I'm curious as to why they would bring this event back, and it's obviously a Phil Spencer thing. So they must have, as you said, some surprises and something that they're excited to show off. I mean, I do think that we'll get a lot of stuff that we already know about and a lot of little things. I do genuinely believe that. But there is going to be some kind of something new. Whether that be a studio announcement of an acquisition, that is entirely possible, like an Obsidian, like a Turtle Rock. Who knows? Or maybe somebody smaller, somebody, completely out of left field. I do believe, though, that we will get a teaser for something. A teaser, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll show gameplay at E3 or whatever.
Exactly. There's nothing stopping them from that. That's what really kills me about, I think with Alan Wash, shout out to him, talking to Ralph Fulton at the head of Playground Games, saying that, it's going to be a long, long time before they even talk about what they're working on. And it's like, you don't need to show anything in depth. I think most people, when it comes to Fable, or, who knows what they're working on, most people just want to know it exists. And, you don't need to be working on a game for even 2 months to even, say what it is. If you flash a JPEG, Metro Prime 4 style at XO, people would be happy. People would be okay. And, all they would have to say after that is, we'll show more at E3.
Well, we just need to know that what would be great is that just for, it's like we all hear rumors, and it's like, just let us know that something is actually in development, like a new Fable or whatever Ninja Theory's new game is. There's already been like trademarks for a couple of games of theirs.
Yeah, Bleeding Edge is one of them.
Bleeding Edge and Upres, I believe, is the other. And those were like a year ago or a little more. So there's a lot of curiosity behind what the heck Ninja Theory is working on. So, hey, maybe we'll see a teaser for them. Maybe we'll see a teaser for Playground Games as a new game, which is possibly Fable. Who knows? The point is, I would expect something, because, again, to just bring back the XO event out of nowhere, I think it'll be a little more than just your typical long inside Xbox.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think people get excitement and expectations mixed with anticipation, because, anticipation is half the fun in all of this, right? It's like people can be wrong. YouTubers can be wrong. Anyone you listen to. Hell, most recently, Aaron Greenberg can be wrong, and then he can But but that's half the fun of it all. And what I want, hopefully, what I want to see out of this is like, I want some details on the mouse and keyboard situation. I hope they can go over that just a little bit. Maybe, I want that to go into detail in this conference style event, because we've only had little statements here and there about it, and all those have basically done is like diffusing the doom and gloomers. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not going to ruin everything. Just shut the fuck up, calm down. It's coming. Right. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it later. And if they announce the mouse and keyboard, then I have to see Age of Empires coming to Xbox, like Pink Floyd said in the chat earlier. Like, that's one thing that I need to see. I would love to see these two things paired together in the show. That would be awesome.
Me too.
That'd be a big announcement, honestly, for some people. Not for me, but for a lot of people. Age of Empires.
Played Age of Empires?
No, I haven't, man. I mean, I'm not a PC gamer. Like, the most PC I really played was just like Mortal Kombat, the original, on my dad's computer, like Number Munchers and shit. Like, that's the PC gaming I did. So.
You like real-time strategy, even if you don't like a lot of it. Like, Age of Empires is like responsible for most of it.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal, awesome game.
No, I know that there's a huge cult following for that game, and then there's some rumors out there like that remaster of World of Warcraft or whatever, remake or whatever it is, might get ported over for Xbox, since it's going to have mouse and keyboard support. So I think that people are underestimating the potential there. Like, you're not really impacting a lot of console gamers like space per se, bringing over these games, because it's up to the developers. And we've seen already that some of these developers have said, no, we're not doing the mouse and keyboard shit here. Like, Fortnite blocked it, and some other devs have blocked it. So then you have these games that you typically wouldn't be able to play, and they add that to the lineup in the Xbox games. But we don't have games, so we don't play games here on Xbox. So it should be interesting to see, what kind of support or what kind of games come over from the PC side. I don't know.
PlayStation can have VR, because you mentioned that they're doubling down on VR, and it's like they can have VR. I'll take mouse and keyboard and all the games that comes with that.
I'm sure. Well, I know PlayStation's going to copy the support. It's just going to happen, I think it's just a matter of when, that they implement the full support. And once that happens, these games that come over from PC could just easily be ported over to PlayStation. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be out, oh, this is an exclusive. This is an exclusive. Eventually, most of these games will make their way over there. So don't toot your horn too much. You know what I'm saying? People are going to call you out on it. So I think XO will be a great event, this year. I look forward to talking about it for sure. We could do a recap show. My PC is not going to be able to handle the whole OBS situation until I get a new one. So we're not going to do a live reaction, unfortunately, but I will do a follow-up show immediately after XO. We'll see who we can get on there. We'll try to have some special guests. I think today's show was amazing. I want to thank our special guests, Invader and Hyena Den. You guys did amazing. Shout out to Punkish Gaming for donating on the panel. That's crazy. Yes, some crazy shit. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you to all our Patreons, everybody in the chat. You guys were amazing. There were some trolls in there, but it is what it is. The best thing to do with trolls is just to ignore them, right? Don't bring it up. Just don't even talk to them. If they get out of line, you can tell they're just trolls. Just don't talk to them. I think that's their kryptonite. If you ignore them, you don't give them power. They just kind of disappear. So let's get to our outros, and you guys can get to gaming. Let's start off with Invader. Where can people find you?
All right. Well, first of all, hey, thanks, Salty, for having me on the Saltiest cast. It's been a lot of fun talking games, and everybody in the panel, you guys are awesome. Love talking games with you. And, of course, everybody in the chat, hey, thanks for coming out. You guys are great. Thanks for the support. You are the lifeblood of all this, so thank you very much, guys, in the community. You guys can find me, of course, on my YouTube channel, Invader Gaming. And hey, I'm always active on Twitter at Invader_19986. And yeah, you guys can find me on the Game Dosage podcast Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Glitcher, Noof, and the rest of the crew. And it's always a good time talking games. Thanks a lot for having me on, guys.
Awesome. Punk with another $10, an exit, a little super chat there. Punk, you're like my brother, dude. Honestly, you're amazing, dude. You've been here from the get. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, the details are in the description for everybody here. All our guests, all our panel members, they're in the description. Follow them on Twitter. Sub to their YouTubes. These guys are great. I like Invader's take on things. When it comes to gaming, it's straightforward. It's no bullshit. That's what I like. Hyena Den, where can people find you, man?
Yeah, it's been awesome to be invited back on T.S.G.P. And talking games with everybody here. They can find me on Twitter at Hyena Den Xbox Live and on Twitter as well via Hyena Den. And that's basically it for me. I'm still going through the process of building a computer and finding parts for it so I can get my channel up and going for some cool stuff. But yeah, I should have somebody on November 11th, day after XO, to talk about everything that has happened. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we have his information, like I said, in the description. Make sure you sub to him. I've been there from the get for Hyena, man. I'm in his chat. I support this dude. And if he wants to join the panel full time, we'll make that announcement either today or whenever. We'll give him some time to think about it. I like what he does, and I think he fits well in the Saltiest Gaming Podcast. What do you think of that, Hyena Den? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're on the spot here, man. Do you want to be a permanent member or nah?
We will definitely have to talk about it.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got Punkish Gaming. Where can people find you?
Man, you can find me on Xbox, strictly just Punkish, Twitter Punkish Gaming, and every Thursday, right here, hanging out with you cool cats, man. I had a blast tonight, man. Just like you, I love talking video games, listening to everybody's take. Everyone, we all game differently, and we all approach things in different ways, and I like to see that, because it's nice to see that not everyone's the same, whether you're saying earlier, whether you're mobile or, Nintendo Switch, it doesn't matter, man. We're here for the games, and Salty brought me on to talk about games, and that's why I'm here, man. I appreciate you and everybody here on the panel.
Titan, where can people find you?
Everything at Titan Drago, everybody. Invader, Hyena Den, it was awesome having you guys on and talk with you. But tonight, I have a goal on Blackout because there was that Blackout update. And if you guys, Salty, I want to know if you guys have ever seen The Blight Father. Well, I found it an hour before the show. Have you guys seen this guy yet? He is legitimate, bro. Like, me and my son put like countless clips into this thing, and it just did not die. So that's my goal, to beat this thing tonight after this podcast. So
what is it? I don't even know what that is.
Called The Blight Father. It's located at the graveyard just south of the asylum, and you know how the zombies spawn with the blue light? There'll be a red light signaling he's there.
Interesting.
So
we could do. So do you want to do the Saltiest Gaming night, or
I will definitely be doing that tonight.
Someone wants you to sing him a song. Pink Floyd does, but it's up to you.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get a chance to do any songs tonight. Kept lagging out. Dang.
Yeah, you guys have to check his channel out for some awesome parody songs and all that good stuff. As far as me, man, you'll find me taking NyQuil soon enough because I am sick. I had a blast here, though. I'm not going to miss this unless something's really wrong or whatever. I wouldn't miss this for the world. I love talking to you guys. Highlight of my week. I love talking games with you guys. And so as far as the PC situation goes, with all these super chats and donations and all this good stuff, we're definitely going to be upgrading the PC, and I'll get pictures and stuff like that, maybe a video or something showing you guys the progress on that when that happens. More than likely, I'm going to be trying to get that on Black Friday. And as I said, once I get that up and running, we're going to be adding stuff to the show. We're going to be adding OBS and GIFs and animations and all kinds of shit. So this show is going to be taken to the next level, and I'm glad you guys are going to be along for the ride. But as far as this show goes, unfortunately, that's going to do it for this show. It's a sad day. Saltiest Gaming Podcast is over. I hope you guys have a great night, and as always, stay salty, my friends.